My name is Jake Henry. I'm 30 years old. I studied the interior design diploma followed by the full Bachelor of Arts interior design degree. I chose interior design because I was very fortunate in my first career as a rugby player that I found something that I loved, and I was quite concerned that my next career might not be something I loved. And I'd always had a passion for grand designs, YouTube shows such as Never Too Small and those sort of shows, and decided that I wanted to pursue interior design in some capacity. And I began with the diploma, which I absolutely loved every minute of it and found it really intriguing, and it opened my eyes to more elements of design that I wasn't quite aware of. And then once I finished that diploma, I jumped straight onto the degree, and here I am. So I was trying to work out if I wanted to study interior design. I knew it was a passion of mine, and I looked at courses online. I looked at various institutes and found the National Design Academy, and was instantly impressed by the website, the breakdown of the modules, the alumni stories, the lecturer stories, and checked them out on social media and saw there was some interesting posts about certain things that they were involved in, certain in-community competitions that were coming up for people that were studying to have opportunities to work in industry, which I felt was really important to me. So I, one night at about midnight, signed up to the diploma and didn't tell anyone. And I started the course with a hope that I would love it, and within about a week I did, and then I told everyone that I'm doing a diploma in interior design, and that's how that journey started for me. I would say that having just dived in and started it, there was no nerves, there was no worry about, will I pass, will I not pass? It was just purely, I love design, interiors and furniture. How can I learn more about it? And that's how it started. I wanted to just know more about it. I didn't necessarily think I would do the full degree, and I didn't necessarily think I would dive straight into finishing the rugby career and being relatively successful in the first few months of designing, but I knew that I wanted to learn more, and I think it's a really good way of learning more with a direct potential to work. As I say, on the VLS, there's constantly opportunities popping up, and you can say, how on earth am I picking beautiful chairs for someone's house, and I could potentially make a living doing that? And you see people doing that. So for me, that was how it started. Post-degree, things have been quite crazy for me in terms of work, both residential and commercial. I started, as I say, with freelancer platforms, and what I felt that allowed me to do is have some sort of portfolio that I could put in front of clients, which I actually mixed a lot of my degree projects into that portfolio, but there was some real life projects in there as well, so it was hard to tell what was degree and what was real life, which I think gave me a massive leg up. I started working on various projects through speaking to people that I knew, people that I'd met through the freelancer platforms, and it started off with a large commercial space in America, which was for a wealth management company, and it was for furniture procurement, basic design, but no real solid changes, so I felt really comfortable with my background jumping into that project, and it ended up being a really large, it was a 75-seater office, so that went incredibly well. And then leading on from that, I've worked on a number of large residential properties that have come through House and freelancer platforms, and they varied from 3 to 4 bedroom houses to a 7-bedroom house in Piccadilly, which is being separated into 7 individual apartments for Airbnb. There's also a few really interesting commercial spaces that I've worked on. So there's a brand called Deschutzer, which are based in Soho, and they are a streetwear manufacturer that specializes in really niche and interesting embroidered clothing and accessories, and I redesigned their full store, and that's something that's recently been completed, and as someone who had a passion in streetwear and sneakers before, it was something I always wanted to tap into, so to have the skill set and be given the opportunity to do that was really important to me, and I enjoyed it. It was incredible. Another commercial project which I'm really happy with is for Pure Sport, which are a wellness company. They started as a CBD brand, and they are very close to my heart because they are all ex-professional rugby players that have had various knocks, strains, injuries, just as I have, and they have developed CBD products that help to mitigate pain and everyday life, make things better, and their office space was incredible. The upstairs was a green themed, and it was very biophilic based, so lots of planting. And the downstairs, we went the full sustainability route. So every single piece of furniture, every single finish was recycled or secondhand from Facebook Marketplace. And we created a beautiful space that they now use for events, and they also rent out for third-party companies to come and do media there. So that's a space that I'm really proud about because of it was net zero, it was completely recycled, and it looks beautiful. It looks like a scene from Jumanji. It's pretty spectacular. Don't be scared to reach out to people if it's a job you're passionate about or you love. There's been times where jobs have come up that I felt passionate about, or I really felt that I'd be a good fit for it, or I really wanted to do the work, and I've reached out to the people personally. A good example is the Shard. That was a job that came up on a freelancer platform, and I fell in love with, having looked at the company, I fell in love with their brand colours, what they were doing, really interesting company, bright, cheerful, crazy graphics, and I thought this was a project I'd love to be involved in. So after the initial consultation on the app, I reached out via LinkedIn to the owner of the company, and noticed, having reached out on LinkedIn, that we had common ground, and he was a rugby fan, and obviously I played rugby. So that being brave and reaching out meant that inevitably I got the contract. And the worst someone's ever going to say is no. If you're polite and you find common ground and you just send them a message and say, I'm really passionate about this, then maybe they say yes, maybe they say no, but at least you've extended the olive branch, and maybe it leads to something and maybe it doesn't. So if you're thinking of studying online, it is a financial consideration and it is a time consideration. But if you already know that it's a passion and it's something you love, look around you at how many people have a job that they love, and it's not that many people. Start with a diploma, that's what I did. Understand the subjects in greater detail. Be in a position where you have enough knowledge to, even after the diploma, start securing work, build a portfolio, do your friend's bathroom, do your friend's living room, and from there you can then further hone your knowledge and be in a position to work across all sectors of design by simply making a decision to study a one-year course. In terms of the future for me, I feel incredibly excited. I feel empowered by the course. I feel like I'm in a position that I can take on most design jobs and do a good job and imprint on the world. I feel like I still have some stuff to learn in terms of what I want to do. Do I want to become completely net zero and work on properties because that's something that interests me? Do I want to work solely on commercial or residential? But what I have is those choices to make, and before studying the course I didn't have any choices to make. So I feel incredibly free. I can work from home. I recently was on holiday and decided to work on holiday because why not? I could make some money whilst I was abroad and managed to pick up a contract when I was there. So those things for me are what I had when I played rugby and was scared I wouldn't have in a 9-to-5 job in an office, and I have all of those things now, which is fantastic for me.